Hi guys, it's Aunt Becca and I've got a new story for you. It is called The Adventures of Onyx and the Gales of November by Tyler Benson. So I'm so excited to read you a new story today. Mayday, mayday, mayday! The cry for help came across the radio in the communications center of Coast Guard Station St. Ignace. Sellers, the communication watch standard, answered the call. Vessel hailing Mayday, this is the United States Coast Guard. State your location and nature of distress. A scared voice came over the radio once again. Mayday! Coast Guard, Mayday! We are a single-engine plane and we are going down. I repeat, we are going down in the Straits of Mackinac. The radio suddenly went silent and the phones began ringing loudly. Chief Treb entered the communications center and began assisting Sellers with the calls. Phone call after phone call came in from the witnesses who spotted the small plane crash on the backside of Mackinac Island. There it is. You see that? That's where the plane crash happened. Chief Trib pointed to Sellers and said, "Alert the crew! It's time to get to work." The search and rescue alarm sounded through the station. The crew rushed in to dress out of their search and rescue suits. They were briefed before they ran out the door and sprinted toward the motor lifeboat, ready to answer the call, ready to save lives in need. They are the guardians of the straits. The coasties rushed to their positions. Dean went topside to the driver's seat. Evans went below to fire up the engines, and Pelkey took the stern line and Hogan took the bow line. Dean looked toward the navigator chair at their newest crew member. "All right, girl," he said with a grin. "Hold on tight. We're setting out into these heavy winds. We're setting out into the gales of November." There's Onyx. She's ready to hop on the boat. Onyx looked forward with a loud, confident bark. Woof! She let her crew know she was ready to go. Onyx was ready for another adventure. "All right, clear all lines," Dean yelled. "Coming up." Onyx and the Guardians of the Straits launched into action. So far, so good. As the motor lifeboat headed into the straits, Dean briefed the crew. "Listen up. These gales of November have just proven that they are not only capable of pulling ships to the bottom of the lakes, but they're also capable of pulling aircraft from the sky. There are reports that this plane went down on the east side of Mackinac Island, somewhere in front of Arch Rock. The good news is that Coast Guard cutter Biscayne Bay is in the vicinity to assist us with the search. The bad news is, getting to them, we have to go through Round Island Passage." "Oh no!" Evans cried. "Not the pass!" "What is the pass?" Hogan asked Pelkey. "It's a narrow passage between Round Island and Mackinac Island," Pelkey explained. "It's where Lake Huron and Lake Michigan come together, and in these gales of November, the two lakes collide and explode." "The risk is worth the gain," Dean yelled. "It will cost us valuable time to go around Mackinac Island. Who's with me?" Onyx barked first. "Woof!" Then the crew shouted with a united "Aye, aye!" The Guardians of the Straits would make the pass. They're a pretty brave crew, aren't they? The lifeboat approached Round Island Passage. And as the waves grew higher, the crew quickly buckled up and harnessed in. Hogan strapped Onyx into her chair. "Okay, girl, hold on tight," he said. "Dean is one of the best boat drivers in the Coast Guard. He'll get us through the pass safely. I trust him." Hogan took his seat. Onyx looked over at Dean. She saw the same confidence in his eyes that she held in her heart. A purpose to serve, a purpose to protect, and a purpose to save those in need. Dean was their leader. He was always ready. He truly was semper paratus. As the motor lifeboat came to the passage, Dean yelled out, "Hold on, shipmates, coming up!" Then he pushed the throttles down. The motor lifeboat slammed its bow into the powerful waves. The crew lowered their heads and grabbed the rail. Dean held tightly onto the helm, and Onyx howled in exhilaration. Ow! As the 40,000-pound motor lifeboat made its big push and leaped 30 feet into the air. That's pretty high. Oh man, let's find out what's going to happen next. The motor lifeboat was airborne for seconds, but suddenly slammed down and rode the back of the wave. Ha ha! Dean yelled to the crew. We made it! Onyx barked with excitement. Ruff, 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 and licked Hogan's face. I wasn't scared for a second, Hogan told Onyx. Suddenly, Coast Guard cutter Biscayne Bay came over the radio. St. Ignace Rescue, we have visual on the plane crash. It's on the shore of Mackinac Island at the base of Arch Rock. It's too shallow for a cutter or your motor lifeboat to get in there. Request we launch our small boat to come alongside your boat to take one of your emergency medical technicians into the beach to assist. Air Station Traverse City has a rescue helicopter on the way. Hogan, Dean yelled. That is you. Prepare for transfer with Biscayne Bay's small boat and take Onyx. There they are, getting ready to go. I hope everybody on the plane is okay, right? Oh boy, Onyx is ready to go too. There she is, look at her. The small boat came alongside the motor lifeboat. Evans and Pulkey helped Onyx and Hogan across. Good luck, shipmates, Evans said. Onyx barked, woof, and Hogan gave them a thumbs up. Hogan and Onyx met their new crew, the Gibb twins. Hogan introduced himself and Onyx. It's a surprise to see brothers stationed together, Hogan yelled. As surprising as it is for us to see that your rescue party consists of a coastie and a dog, one of the brothers yelled back. She's as much of a coastie as you or your brother. You just watch, Hogan said. Let's see what's going to happen next. The small boat headed for the shore. Hogan and Gibb twins held on tight while Onyx stood as a watchful guardian at the bow. The small boat bounced from wave to wave, quickly making its way closer to the shore. As they closed in on the beach, one of the Gibbs yelled out, Brace yourselves! The small boat suddenly hit bottom and beached itself onto Mackinac Island. I bet that was a really exciting ride. One Gibb brother grabbed the emergency medical kit. The other radioed back to the cutter and motor lifeboat about their arrival. Onyx wasted no time. She sprinted across the beach towards the flames and smoke of the plane crash. The dog led the way. The dog led the way as the coasties followed. Onyx led the coasties up the block to the base of Arch Rock where the aircraft lay. Wreckage from the plane paved the path all the way up to the bluff. Onyx and the coasties worked their way through the debris and the brush off of the island until they came across the fuselage of the plane, which holds the passengers, crew, and cargo. There they are. They're on their way. Onyx started barking furiously, scraping her claws against the fogged-up window of the fuselage. One of the brothers yelled for her to get back. No one could have survived that crash. Hogan tried to pull the aircraft doors open, but the fuselage was too warped and too twisted to open. Oh, see, there she is. She knows. She knows something. Hogan ran back to the small boat, grabbed the boat's anchor, and then quickly sprinted back up the bluff toward the crash. He pushed the brothers aside and yelled to Onyx, "Get back!" And then he threw the anchor through the fogged window, shattering it to pieces. Oh, that's pretty brave. Do you think that means somebody's inside? Let's find out. To everyone's surprise, a badly injured woman emerged from the passenger seating and handed one of her 3 children to Hogan. "Save my children," she said. "Save my children." Hogan embraced the child against his chest, and Onyx nozzled against the mother to give her comfort. How exciting. Suddenly, Hogan and Onyx looked up to see the bottom of an orange Coast Guard rescue helicopter arriving from Air Station Traverse City. A basket from the rescue helicopter lowered, and a rescue swimmer stepped onto the bluff of Arch Rock. "I'll take it from here," the swimmer told Hogan. That's a lot of teamwork, isn't it? Hogan and the Gibb twins put the mother and her 3 children into the basket. Onyx ran up to the basket. The mother pulled Onyx close. "Thank you, Miracle Dog. Thank you. You saved my babies and me," the mother whispered onto Onyx's ear. The helicopter began lifting the rescue basket. The mother held on to Onyx as long as she could, finally letting go as she and her children rose safely into the air. Find out what happens. Hogan kneeled next to Onyx with the Gibbs brothers and watched, knowing that a family would safely see another day. Onyx stood proud, knowing that she had found exactly what she was born to do: serve and protect a greater good. Her perseverance paid off. Onyx survived another adventure and the gales of November. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story today of the Gales of November and Onyx's adventures. And I'll talk to you soon. Till our next story. Mwah.